In this video, we're going to talk about improving your sense of time. Okay? That basically means your sense of rhythm, the internal pulse. You've got to feel it within yourself whilst you're playing music, especially improvising though. You've got to feel that tempo, that beat. Now, to work on it, to practice it, we have to use a metronome. So if you feel like you haven't got a good sense of time and you want to work on it and train it, and you haven't been using a metronome, that's probably why you're in the position you're in. So you must use a metronome with a lot of your practicing. Okay, and I'm not just talking about if you're thinking about your sense of time, I'm talking about with a lot of things, practicing your scales, practicing your patterns, your licks. If you use a metronome, it'll improve your time while you're doing it. Okay, so what's the best way, what's the most effective way of doing this? If you're completely new to using a metronome, then I suggest you start by making it click on every beat of the bar in terms of what you're working on. So for the purposes of this video and demonstrating, I'm going to use it over a 12-bar blues. Okay, and we're going to use a 12-bar jazz blues in the key of F. So first of all, I'm going to set a metronome at 100 BPM. Right? And I'm going to count myself in, and we're going to play through the structure of a 12-bar blues. Now, in terms of what notes I'm playing, I'm just going to be using the blues scale and some 1-3-5s and a few little bits and pieces. So follow it through, listen to how I'm sticking to this tempo. Try and internalize it before you start. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so get used to doing that, having the metronome dictate every beat of the bar. It's relatively easy to do because it's telling you every single beat, and you've got no choice really but to play in time when that's the case. Now the next step is where you're starting to try and train your inner sense of time, because we're now going to half this to 50. And what we're going to do is, so now the metronome's only going to be clicking on beat 1 and 3, and we've got to internalize the 2 and the 4. Okay, so again, this is like step 2 if you've never used a metronome. It's the next step that is the kind of the really effective one. This one is going to be clicking on beats 1 and 3, and we're going to do it again. 2, 3, 4. Right? So we've got to keep that same tempo and listen out for 1 and 3. Now we're going to swap that round, so the metronome is going to be on beats 2 and 4, not 1 and 3. Why are we doing this? Well, basically the emphasis on beats 2 and 4 is far more effective in terms of getting a groove sense. The 1 and the 3 just feels a bit kind of sort of straightforward and forced. When we put the emphasis on beats 2 and 4, we can start to feel the sense of swing a bit more effectively. 1, 3, 4. A 1, 3. A 1, 3. It doesn't just work with swing; it works with rock beats and Latin beats as well. The emphasis on beats 2 and 4 gives that sort of backbeat feel. So let's go through it with just with this now on beats 2 and 4. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so that's really good. We're keeping it the same tempo here. So by this point, you've probably got a good sense of this tempo. So at this point, you might want to maybe change the speed of the metronome and try it again. So let's make it a bit quicker. If we say, I don't know, 65. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I'm whizzing through these, but practice it a lot at each thing until you're comfortable, and then move on to the next step. This is the one where it's on 2 and 4 is the one that you can spend the most time if you're comfortable with the other easier 2 steps. Now another thing we can do is we'll go back to the original tempo of 100. We halved it to 50, put it on 2 and 4. Now we're going to halve it again to 25, right? Now that means that we've really got to internalize this pulse, because we're only getting 1 out of the 4 beats per bar. 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. So the click can be on 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. Okay, click on beat 1 of every bar. You're internalizing the rest of the pulse. A couple of times there I wasn't bang on, so you've got to try and adjust within that you know, try and get it for the next time. Now that was on beat 1. What we can do now is put that beat on beat 3. So a 1, 2, 4, a 1, 2, 4, a 1, a 2, a 1, 2. Okay, so I got a bit carried away in the middle there. That's why I kind of carried on, because I needed to get back on track. So I demonstrated there. I didn't get out on purpose. I got out by mistake and had to work my way back in. So this is a good demonstration of how you got to internalize that pulse, and you can get carried away and speed up, and then the metronome will be like, no, get back here. So that's why it works so well. So training your sense of time is just paramount to becoming a good musician.